First European Tour event of 2017 reaches its conclusion tomorrow, and Joe Cullen will be looking to avoid the same fate as Simon Whitlock, who's just been beaten, the number 6 seed, by Kevin Painter in a bit of a bizarre match really. James Wade, another seeded player to exit, as was Michael Smith this afternoon. Cullen up against Jamie Bain, looking to cause another shock. Which one of them will go through to take on Mensur Suljovic? We're about to find out. And Rob Malarkey joins me for the final match of this Saturday night here in Hildesheim.
Yeah, I've got to say I'm really looking forward to this one as well, Chris, I have to say. Firstly, Cullen comes into this tournament in good nick. It's a fair reflection of the progress he's made that he comes into this tournament as a seeded player and on the back of some fairly notable achievements in the last 6 months or so, including a debut appearance at the World Grand Prix, a 6-5 win over the then world champion Gary Anderson to reach the last 8 of the World Series finals, and of course fairly recently a first competitive 9-dart finish as well.
Yeah, the last man to hit a 9-darter in front of the cameras, Raymond van Barneveld, almost became the most recent but missed double 12 in the Premier League on Thursday. Cullen actually, after hitting that 9-dart leg, threw his next 5 darts in the treble 20, and the 6th one was deflected wide, so he was on course for back-to-back. I was in the commentary box and I was getting very, very excited indeed.
You must have witnessed, what, 7 180s this year or something?
I called 4 9-darters so far this year.
Sorry, 7 9-darters. 180.
2 for Michael Van Gogh in the same game. Darren Webster hit 1. And of course Joe Cullen's in Barnes just a fortnight ago.
Yeah, 12 9-darters in total this year, 49, including the development tour, but none so far on the European tour this year.
Well, I think that's why I've been given this gig, Rob, to be honest, because I think they think I'm going to bring a bit of 9-dart stardust or something.
Well, Cullen takes the first leg by pinning double 16. Quick word about Jamie Bain as well, very impressive in the way he saw off Chris Dobie. A very tough opening assignment for him yesterday, winning that one 6-5. Dobie missed a match dart, by the way, on double 11 at 5-4. Bain then checked out on 1-2-9, and that really seemed to turn the tide. But Dobie did the damage in his own right in the last leg. He had 3 visits without a treble in the decider, and Bain averaged 101.5 to get through. So he's beaten Dobie 6-5, he beat Nathan Aspinall 6-5 in qualifying, and he beat Darryl Gurney 6-5 in qualifying as well. 92. May well go the distance here too.
Yeah, Cullen was also granted a wild card to the World Series of Darts finals last year, so he's certainly in the mix. He's well liked, and they fancy him to do some damage in his career. He seems to have been around for such a long time, the 27-year-old. He was part of that New Kids on the Hockey, if you can remember that far back, the likes of Aaron Monk, and was Michael Smith involved in that? I think that was before his time, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did run through the list. Obviously, some have fallen by the wayside, but Cullen, I think, one of the more high-profile players to emerge from that, as Bain also takes out double 16 to level the match.
Yeah, classy stuff. 102 check out from the Scotsman, and I'd say it was definitely the shock of yesterday, him beating Chris Dobie.
I mentioned the achievements that Cullen has picked off recently, but he just seems to have made a really nice progression in his career of late. Played his first TV quarter-final at the UK Open last year. Maiden European Tour semi-final last year as well in Munich. He went down to Van Gerwen in that one, although he beat James Wade and Gary Anderson 6-0 in that particular campaign. And he grabbed the place at the World Match Play last year as well, so he's ticked off a few on his bucket list, I suppose.
Well, the big one, I think, for Joe was getting the win at Halle. He'd qualified 6 times before that and lost in the first round on every occasion. But he's certainly going the right way in his kind of form line in his career, and he's got plenty of years ahead of him. I had been saying for a while that I thought that Joe Cullen was going to be the next new title winner, I meant of any kind, but Rob Cross took that mantle, so now I can say it again. Anyway, 102 from Bain, followed by 103 from Cullen.
Yeah, Cullen was involved in a brilliant match, well, a real needle match with Corey Cadby at the World Championship in December. It was a great match, great tussle. No love lost on the stage between those two at times as well, but all added to the drama.
62.
You've got to give credit to Cullen as well, because Cadby had demolished his prelim opponent, and Cullen, having lost 6 times in a row at Halle, and then given that task against the World Youth Champion, who a lot of people were getting rather excited about, he really handled it very well, and he's handled his darts extremely well there.
Well, I know Dan Dawson's convinced that Cadby is going to be a future Premier League player, and he's certainly, he's got many of the credentials. Clearly a big talent.
99.
But it's how he takes the next step. Anyway, Cullen here leads 2-1. Let's talk about the here and now.
Well, maybe he could be a future Premier League player, who knows?
160.
No reason why not.
100.
He certainly kept a low profile today as well, Joe Cullen. He's not really been a visible presence behind the scenes, backstage. Obviously
60.
getting on with the job of just knuckling down in the practice room here. Cullen tops he once then for a 3-1 lead.
Maybe that's a difference for Joe Cullen. I'm not suggesting that he used to muck about, but maybe he has something's changed in his mind as he's got older and he's taking it more serious and is reaping the rewards.
57.
Cullen was a long way off with that first attempt at double 20, by the way, so he's got another crack here. But he'll need to take this because Bain is lurking on 56. He's having problems with tops there, but double 10's not a problem. And Cullen finds himself 3-1 to the good. Winner to face Mensur Sulovic in the last 16 tomorrow. Sulovic coming through against Mervyn King.
Yeah, from tomorrow the tournament will be played out in draw bracket order, so I'll just run through quickly the matches that we know. It's Michael van Gerwen against Christo Reyes kicking off the action on Sunday afternoon here in Hildesheim. Then Ian White against Darren Johnson, who did for James Wade. Chisnell against Clarkson. Van der Pass against Jan Decker, who beat Michael Smith. And then we've got Peter Wright and Bunting, Alan Norris and Kim Hybrechts, Kevin Payne, who we've just seen beat Whitlock, takes on Gerwin Price. And as you said, Rob, the winner of this one against Mensur Suljovic.
99.
Decent lineup.
Very decent lineup. Just the 3 seeded casualties so far. Cullen hoping to avoid being the 4th. And with darts like that, he shouldn't have too many problems. Once again, a cracking day's action here at Hildesheim. Halle 39 has really been treated to some good stuff, and the fans have played their part as always once again.
Yeah, Van Gerwen set the standard, didn't he? Averaging over 110 in his demolition of Jermaine Watamina.
Mervyn King, by the way, averaged 102 as opposed to Sulovic's 101. But yeah, it was the business end of things that Sulovic got things done.
Game Charles in the 5th leg, Joe Cullen.
And Cullen's looking comfortable here now.
Yeah, it must be frustrating when you see, some players going through with mid-80 averages and you're averaging 102 and getting knocked out, but it's just the look of the draw and how your opponent's playing.
Yep.
Often players kind of raise each other up and drag each other down, don't they? So can only focus on your game and nobody else's.
100.
Yeah, and talking of averages, Bain had a very healthy one yesterday, as I said, 101.5 in that win over Chris Dobie, over 11 legs as well. So that puts a bit of a gloss on it, or makes it more, or puts it into a certain amount of context.
Well, Cullen's flirting with a ton plus average here, I'm sure.
Yeah, 101.9 at the moment. Bain is down at 87.
140.
Well, this is precarious for Cullen, but it looks like it should be Bain's leg to win. 2 bites at double 16. Yeah, just steps over to the left-hand side there to find that gap and exploit it.
We often see a few players do this, don't we? The first round it's spectacular, and then the second round it's nothing like that. Dimitri van der Berg, a classic example today, suffered a whitewash to Dave Chisnell, having been brilliant yesterday.
59.
Yeah, we were just, actually, Andy Scott and I were just having a very similar conversation earlier about how players obviously hit
57.
some sort of peak yesterday and then just didn't really back it up. I thought Christian Kist actually played better
55.
today than he did yesterday as well, but he still went down 6-5 to Peter Wright. He'll be reflecting on what might have been, I think, Christian Kist when he goes to bed tonight.
Decent figures from Cullen, 3 180s. 7 visits above 131, well 10 if you include the 180s, and then 97 average. And that's about the level that he's hitting on a more regular basis these days.
95. $60.
And you're just starting to get the feeling he just needs to kind of go through the motions and close this one out, because Bain is not reproducing the form he found yesterday.
177.
Well, that's an exquisite setup by Cullen just to hammer home the message, although Bain is still hanging in there. Yeah, but
Charles
Cullen.
the 7th flag, Joe Cullen. Hey, for Jamie to throw first. Game on.
So one leg away.
57.
Yeah, the performance of the day, we said Michael van Gerwen. I think the shot of the day has to be that 160 checkout from Peter Wright, because he was
59.
really up against it against Christian Kist. Found something.
100.
Yeah, we've had the promise of 9 darters today, but the Holy Grail remains precisely that on the European Tour.
140.
But as you say, Chris, Cullen just almost coasting to his
100.
victory now. He knows he's almost there, still has to stay professional and focus on the job in hand, but if the opportunity comes in this particular leg on the Bain throw, all well and good, but has plenty in hand as well.
We've seen every type of game today, but we've seen some absolutely brilliant performances, some really closely fought contests. We saw a couple of quite scrappy games. But this one for Joe Cullen has a feel of a bit of a practice match.
It does, and well, he's clearly got his head down today, and it's paying dividends
140.
against a player who I thought might have given him more to think about.
74. Jamie 44.
Well, can he keep us going for a little bit longer? Double 16.
12.
Yeah.
So you require 9.
So Cullen to close it out. 1 for double 4. And the Bradford man moves through to the last 16, and he will be here tomorrow with the likes of Michael van Gerwen, Peter Wright, Dave Chisnall, and the defending champion Alan Norris. Cullen through to take on Mensur Suljovic tomorrow, as the first European Tour event of 2017 will reach its conclusion. 16 will play down to 1, and someone will leave Hildesheim with £25,000. Who will it be? Join us tomorrow to find out. But before you do that, stay tuned to hear a little bit from the winner, Joe Cullen.
So, congratulations. Happy with your game?
Pardon?
Happy with your game?
Yeah, I wasn't happy before I came on stage, but I played well and took the shots when I had to, so just happy to get through the first game.
After a really good year 2016, what's the plan for this year?
Better than last year. Simple as that. I played well on tour, on the floor, so just the aim is to get better on TV.
New tattoo, right?
Yeah, new tattoo, yeah. So I was hoping you wouldn't notice, blushing a little bit. Yeah, as long as you like it, that's all that matters.
Okay, see you tomorrow again. Thank you, Joe. Joe Cullen. Er sagt, er hat gut gespielt, ist zufrieden. Er hat letztes Jahr ein gutes Jahr gehabt, will einfach in diesem Jahr das Ganze nochmal steigern. Ihn sehen wir auf jeden Fall morgen wieder. Das war's also mit der 4. Session bei den HappyBet German Darts Championship. Morgen geht es weiter, 13 Uhr. Es kommen die 8 Achtelfinals und am Abend natürlich dann die Viertel, die Halbfinals und das Finale. Und dann wissen wir, wer der Sieger der HappyBet German Darts Championship 2017 ist, wer der Nachfolger von Alan Norris ist. Hat Spaß gemacht. War eine stimmungsvolle Session. Dank euch. Kommt gut nach Hause, kommt sicher nach Hause. Ich bin mir sicher, wir sehen viele von euch morgen dann auch am entscheidenden Tag wieder. Bis dahin, ciao.